This video note demonstrates how to test for valid CSS with the W3C's CSS validation service. The W3C provides a free CSS validation service referred to as the W3C CSS Validator at jigsaw.w3.org/CSS-validator. The service checks your CSS code for syntax errors. We'll use the CSS file color.css for our example. You'll find a file similar to this in the student files. The file contains a body selector with two style declarations. The background color is set to #0000FF, which is a hexadecimal value for blue. The text color is set to #FFFFFF, which is a hexadecimal value for white. Let's access the W3C CSS Validator and check the syntax of the color.css file. Display jigsaw.w3.org/css-validator in a browser. There are three validation options. Use the by URI option to check a CSS file on the web. Use the by file upload option to upload a file for validation from your computer. Use the by direct input option to type or copy and paste code to be validated. We'll check the color.css file. Select the by file upload tab. Select the Browse button. Navigate to your folder, select the file, and select Open. Select the Check button to run the W3C CSS validation service and check the syntax of your file. The W3C CSS validation service result page appears. A green horizontal bar with the message, "Congratulations, no error found," displays. This means your file contains valid CSS. Now that you've seen the process of testing syntax with the W3C CSS Validator, let's introduce some errors in the code and try again. I edited the color.css file and introduced two errors. I removed the letter R in background. I removed the hash mark, also called a £, from the color property value. Next, I saved the file. Let's see what the W3C CSS validation service tells us. Select the By File Upload tab. Select the Browse button. Navigate to your folder, select the file, and select Open. Select the Check button to run the W3C CSS validation service and check the syntax of your file. The validator shows a red bar which indicates an error. Two error messages are displayed. The first error message tells us that the background color property doesn't exist. This lets you know that there is a typo in the specified property. You'll need to look over your code and use critical thinking skills when correcting syntax errors. In this case, we know that we need to change background color to background color. The second error message tells us that FFFFFF is not a color value. The validator expects you to know that hexadecimal color values begin with a hash mark character. In this case, we know that we need to add a hash mark in front of FFFFFF. Edit the color.css file. Type the missing R and missing hash mark. Save the file. Access jigsaw.w3.org/css-validator and test the file again with the W3C CSS validation service. The W3C CSS validation service result page appears. A green horizontal bar with the message, "Congratulations, no error found," displays. It's good practice to validate your CSS files. Browsers display valid code in a more efficient manner, which results in faster loading web pages.